What is up, Scentsy fans? It's Patricia, and today is Tester Tuesday. This is a weekly series of Scentsy review videos, and hopefully by listening to the reviews, you get some sort of entertainment, or you can figure out if a scent may or may not work for you. So we have 3 scents to discuss, plus an important change at the end of this week's video, so stay tuned, and let's get started. All right, let's talk about our first place scent for the week. It is Keep It Sassy. I will put the percentage of votes next to the scent name. This is a red colored wax. And this came out in the Glamorous You Wax collection in, I believe, 2021. And I would either put this in the fruity section or the floral section. And I will say that this is probably the most complimented scent from that collection. It's a romantic style scent. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, playful sparkling lemon brings out the sweet side of cherry blossom and sugar cane. So this is a sweet romantic scent, but it doesn't really come off perfumey in the sense like amber or alcohol perfumey. It's got a note in there that kind of grounds it. It's a really beautiful scent. It does smell like cherry, but in the best way. So cherry blossom, I'm not really sure, but does it smell like lemon? I'm not really sure, but everything together, it smells magical. And I forgot to ask my family what they thought of this. So I went and quickly got at least 2 of the family members to give me their feedbacks on this week's scents. So my husband smelled it. He said, that's 8 out of 10, which for him is good. He pretty much rotates from about a 4 to a 9, and that's it. He said it's fruity. It's one that I like. It's up his alley. It smells like my wife, which would be me. So if I smell like Keep It Sassy, that is a good thing. So this whole collection was a very perfume heavy or romantic feminine style set. There was one that leaned a little bit more unisex, but for the most part, traditional feminine leaning scents. So this one I thought I put as one of my top 12 scents for the year, and I actually went back and watched 2022, 2021, and 2020, and even 2019, and no, it's not in there, but I really enjoy this one, so that goes to show. Now, what did Ryan say? Ryan said it's good at 9 out of 10, and unfortunately Erica's at work, so I did not get her opinion. All right, so this is my last bar, and I actually warmed through a whole bar for the review, and I actually started warming a little bit more. So I put it in my bedroom, which is 2 cubes here in my bedroom and 2 cubes in the bathroom, and I leave the bathroom door open and I kind of let it go in this area. So that'd be a 4 cube total. I would say strength was between 7 and 8, but the throw was probably about a 9. It just kind of projects, and you could be sitting out in the kitchen area in my main space, and if the door was open, I could smell Keep It Sassy. And then just the other day, I put it in Erica's room, and I was sitting at the kitchen table, and I could smell Keep It Sassy, and I realized, oh, she's got her door open, that's why. So yes, it does travel at not an extreme strength, but a good, definite medium for sure. And I left it going in here in my bedroom a little over 2.5 days. So not quite a full 3 days, but a little over 2.5 days, and I did have to turn it off for 1 day and then restart it. So a lot of my scents, I just let them go, you know, uninterrupted, but this one I did stop and start again, and it did very, very well. So I decided to put 2 cubes in the kids' bathroom. It had, in a full-size 25-watt grouted glass warmer, it was about 7 out of 10, and I left it going 2 days there. And then, not as part of the official review, but I decided to put 3 cubes in Erica's room yesterday because this is totally an Erica scent. I'm going to go out on a limb and say she would give it a good mark. I put it in her room. It smells like Erica. Her dad would say it smelled like me, but maybe we have similar tastes in these kind of scents, but in her room, I would say we're on day 2 now. It's the end of day 2, and I would say I haven't actually checked it, but at the beginning of day 2 is probably about a 6, and yesterday it was probably about an 8. So yeah, a good performer. I love this one. If you like scents like Cherry or I Pick You, then you probably like Keep It Sassy, and it's the type of romantic style scent that is year-round. It doesn't scream spring, summer. It doesn't scream only fall, winter. It's just a perfect year-round bedroom scent. I think it's probably strong enough you could warm it in a bigger area, but not with challenging ceilings or things like that. But yeah, I love this one. I would love to see it back. If I saw it in a flash sale or clearance, I would easily buy at least 3, up to 6. I've had a lot of them to use up because I did buy, I think, 5 packs of the Glamorous You Wax collection when they put it on clearance one time. So I've had a lot to use up, but yeah, really love this one. I know a lot of people are in the same had the same opinion as me of this one. It's a really good one. Keep your eye out for it. Keep it sassy. All right, let's talk about our second place scent for the week. And it's from the Encanto collection, which is a licensed collection, so $1 more per bar. This is Mirabel Not Ordinary Extraordinary. It's this pretty blue, green, teal colored wax. I'll put the percentage of votes below. And on cold sniff, I would say it's about a medium intensity, and I would put it in the fruity category. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, lively pineapple, mango, and passion fruit shine a bright light of hope and courage. So this smells a little bit like a candy to me, and I actually brought a prop this week for something different. There's some ones in here. It says strawberry and lemon, blue raspberry and watermelon, and green apple and cherry. So nothing really so much tropical about the combination of these candies, but there's something about these candies in their entirety, like in the bag, that reminds me of the fruitiness that you would get here. Because I think the lemon is coming across as a tropical mango, and I think the blue raspberry is kind of coming across like a nice juicy fruit. And then you have apple and cherry, and yes, it says here pineapple, mango, and passion fruit. I don't know if I'm getting so much tropical fruits as I'm just getting an overall general fruit medley that I really like, and it's sweet and tangy and juicy, just like candy. And then if you could picture that, and you're eating that candy, and then Make a Splash walks by. Make a Splash. She's in the current catalog. She smells a little bit like fruity, fresh, slight shampoo-ness. That's Make a Splash. So if you took my bag of fruit and merged her with Mrs. Make a Splash, then you would have something like Mirabel. That's what I get. So what did my family think? Well, again, I could only get my husband and Ryan's opinion. So my husband said, it's okay, it's 7 out of 10. And Ryan said, that's nice, at 8.5 out of 10. He thought he could smell blueberry, and I'm not sure I agree, but that's what he said. So we're going with it. So I decided to put this in the kids' room before I knew what their thoughts were. And once I warmed it there, I thought to myself, I really kind of wish I would have put it in my room because I really like this one. So in Erica's room, I put the typical 3 cubes. I put 2 in a full size, 1 in a mini, and it was about 7 out of 10. I left it going 2 days, but by the end of the second day, I felt like it was hard to smell. In the boys' room, it did pretty much the same, maybe a tiny bit stronger at 7.5, but again, 3 cubes. Their room is slightly smaller and the warmers are a little bit closer together. But yeah, this was so nice. I really, really enjoyed it. If you're someone that likes sweet, fruity scents with a little twinge of, hair salon shampoo vibes, then this would be good. In my cold sniffs, I said it almost smelled like a fresh air. And yeah, maybe, but it's really nice combination. And I would say it does lean spring, summer. And it was fairly long lasting for fruity. I almost got 2 full days out of it, so I was pleased with that. Would I repurchase this one if given the chance? Yes. It was probably my second favorite of the collection. Almost my favorite. Almost, not quite. But I would definitely buy this one if it was individually presented as an option. And that is Mirabel Not Ordinary Extraordinary. All right, let's talk about our third scent this week. It is Luisa Beauty and Brawn. I was able to sneak in another scent this week. I'll put the percentage of votes below. This is almost like a maroonish red colored wax. On cold sniff, I would say it's just shy of medium. And I would put this in the woodsy category. So let's read the scent description. Scentsy says, effortless coconut vanilla creme does the heavy lifting atop a foundation of rich amber and cedarwood. All right. This is what I would describe as a creamy woodsy scent, a creamy sweet woodsy. It almost smells like there's cashmere in here. It talks about heavy. I don't find it heavy. I find it a little bit light and refreshing. Now, not as light as something like a Pacific sandalwood and not as aggressive as something like a cashmere and corduroy in terms of strength. It's somewhere in the middle of those two scents. And I have notes here. It's creamy. There's a mild sweetness. It would be in the woodsy category, but it's one of those relaxing, gentle woodsy bedroom. Not woodsy like green tree woodsy, kind of like natural wood shop woodsy. Okay? So what did my family think of this? Well, my husband said, ooh, this is awful at 4 out of 10. So then I said, oh, really? He said, yes, I don't like it. And I said, well, it's been going in our bedroom for the last 3 days with an asterisk. But he's like, oh. And I said, so it doesn't smell terrible? And he's like, no. And so I said, oh, so it's a good example of why you should warm the wax and not just smell it on cold? He goes, Yes. So yes, that's the saga about that. Ryan said 8 out of 10, and he thought he could smell some raspberry in here. And I said raspberry, and he goes, well, maybe like a perfumey raspberry. So anyway, that's what Ryan said. So I decided, because I wanted to sneak it in this week, I'd put 1 cube in the storage room and 4 cubes in my bedroom-bathroom combination. So I did start warming this early because I thought if it doesn't make it in, because it was almost tied, these two Encanto collection scents were almost tied, and this actually came in third once a few extra votes came in, but I thought I really want to warm this one and give it a try. So here in my bedroom, at max, it was between 6 and 7 that first day when it hit its intensity. And as always, things start to dip, but I would say it was probably a good 4 or 5 for the majority of the time I warmed it. I left it going 2 full days. It was harder to smell, obviously, towards the end of the second day. So today I decided, because I had to work and no one was going to be here in the bedroom a lot, I decided to add some Keep It Sassy that was in the bathroom that still had a little bit of scent, and I just kind of chucked it in. So, but I will be changing it here today. And in the storage room, I would say it was about 6 to 7 out of 10 at its max as well. And again, I left it going 2 days there. Definitely by the end of the second day, I couldn't smell it very well, and that was a 20-watt warmer. So I think if you're someone that likes cashmere and corduroy, and you can imagine maybe something like a, I don't know, like a vitamin R, or a Pacific sandalwood, or what do I have written down? Graduation even, or satin sheets, any of those creamy woodsy scents with a slight prettiness, then yeah, you would probably enjoy this one. It's not as strong as cashmere and corduroy, but there's a little more creaminess to it. I'd say bedrooms, offices, dens, rec rooms, this would work out well. Enclosed spaces would be best. I wouldn't put in a big area because it might be kind of hard to smell, so a medium space would be best. And I will say on Cold Sniff, I did smell a note that I didn't really care for on the bottom, and I think it might have been just the way the amber or the cedarwood was presenting. And on Warm, I didn't really get that. But towards the latter part of the warming, when the base notes started to come out, I didn't like it as much as I did earlier on in the warming. So this was really, really nice. I would consider putting it in my club if I didn't already have so many creamy woodsy scents and ones that I overly enjoy. But if I saw this on clearance, I would definitely pick it up. It's one that's a Patricia type of scent, and it was my favorite of the collection, just a little bit over Mirabel, not Ordinary Extraordinary. Alright, so this is the portion of the video where I typically present to you some scents and you guys vote, but we are changing things up from now on. Not saying that Tester Tuesday is never, ever, ever going to come back, but we are transitioning from a Tester Tuesday into a warming weekly update, and I will definitely discuss new scents, older scents, a little bit of variety, and not quite as much detail, but if a scent is new, I will definitely give a more thorough opinion on it. And not to say that we won't do Tester Tuesday when the new releases come out or whatever, I'm just not sure. I just want to transition into something different. I've been doing Tester Tuesday videos every week for over 7 years, so that's over probably 350 something weeks of not knowing what I'm going to warm until certain votes come in, etc. So I'm looking forward to getting some freedom in my voting. But what I need help with is what to call my new weekly video. I'm going to probably put it out on Tuesdays because obviously it's logical. People are used to tuning in on Tuesdays, but I just need your help. What should I call it? I don't really want to call it what I've been warming, and I'll just say the reason being is whenever I see those videos come up, they always come up with a warning about like global warming and all that stuff, and I don't really want a warning attached to it, so I would like to stay away from that title. But I'm trying to think about a thumbnail that will be enticing and you'll recognize. So yeah, we're gonna have some changes, and what I'm also gonna do is, instead of doing a traditional empties video like I normally do at the end of every month, it will be slightly redundant. So what I'm gonna do is do a quick little mention in a live video. We're gonna do a live video at the end of every month. I just don't know if I'm gonna do it a set time of the week, such as like the last Sunday of the month, or if I'm gonna pick like towards the very last day of the month. Let me know if you have a preference, if you think one would work better in general, and I'll try to see what the consensus is. So thanks for spending the last few minutes with me. Thanks for spending the last 7+ years watching these videos. If you've been here since the beginning, give me a yellow heart. If you've been here the majority of the time, give me a red heart. So I'd like to say, I hope you have a great day in your neck of the woods. Take care, and I will see you guys in the next video.